I can't wait to show you how easy it is now to build a copilot in Scout. Copilots are little chat widgets that you can add to any web page. Most of the time they sit in the bottom right corner and you can click on a little icon and they pop up and you can start to chat, usually about information with the web page. But what Scout has recently done is enabled the Copilot to connect to an agent. So what we will do is walk through how you will do that in Scout right now. And it's super easy. The first thing we want to do is go to Studio and we'll create a new agent in Scout and we'll call this Copilot or whatever you want to name it. And then what we want to do is add some instructions and we want to add a tool for knowledge base because we want to ask it about Scout knowledge base. There we go. We'll search knowledge base. Now, with a typical Copilot, you can set up a knowledge base of any data set that you want. We cover that in another video. This agent is built to help people understand how to work with Scout. We'll go ahead and generate some instructions. Cool. And let's go ahead and create. And now, once we've created, you'll notice this add deployment. We've got our agent. We can say hello. Once we've verified we've got all the functionality that we want, we can go ahead and go to add deployments and we will add a Copilot. Let's go to add deployments. We'll say web Copilot. We'll click on create Copilot and we can set up all of this stuff, which we can get to later. But for now, we'll just leave the defaults and we're going to go to style and we'll just select neutral. And then we'll go to installation and we're going to copy this code here and we'll save our Copilot. This code can go into any HTML page and it will launch this particular Copilot on that page. So what we're going to do is use Zenbin, which is a way for agents to deploy websites, and we're just going to launch a simple website using one of our agents, maybe our coding agent. So we're going to say read zenbin.org, find the skill. And so basically we're just getting it to familiarize itself with the Zenbin skill, and then we're going to use that. We can publish any kind of HTML page and we'll use that skill to do that. The other thing that we want to do is maybe pick a nice design. I've been having this designer agent run and learn about design, which is pretty cool. I'm going to just grab a design here. I like this design. All right, we'll go back to Scout. Okay, so it's going to try to access the skill. I can tell them where it's at. And so with skills, we can save this to our Scout drive and then have our agent already know the skill. But on this demo account, I'm not set that up first. While that's going, we're going to go ahead and tell the agent that we want to create an HTML file. So let's create a basic HTML page with the following code included to launch a Copilot. And then we'll use the 3 backticks and then HTML to let them know that this is HTML to add. And then we would say it would be great to use the design from, and we'll grab the Soul design. That's pretty cool. You could pick any of these designs and then apply to the page. Then publish to zenbin.org as a unique 64-byte identifier. Okay, so now our little coding agent is going to design an HTML page and use the Soul design as inspiration, and it should add our Copilot markup onto the page. Then we should be able to go to that page and see a little icon in the bottom right corner. That will be our agent that kind of understands about Scout or can search the Scout knowledge base. Like, this is super easy. It's just a couple of steps, and you don't even really need to be very technical to do this. In a previous video, showed how you can set up a web crawler to crawl sites of interest to build a knowledge base, or you can upload different documents to build your knowledge base, and then basically follow these steps to create a Copilot and put it on your database. So I'm going to pause it. Here it comes. Let me pause and I'll resume when it's complete. Okay, it didn't take much longer, but didn't want you to sit here waiting around. It has now successfully created a page. Let's click on the URL and see what we got. Awesome. So we got this page, and you can see here we have our Copilot, and we can open it up and say, hello. How to create a knowledge base using Scout tables. We just threw this Copilot together by creating an agent and then saving it and then going to add deployments and setting up our Copilot. And now it is launched on a public website and you can see it in action. We can also kind of tweak the output and say, provide your output in normal text, not markdown. And keep it short. Now what's cool, because now your Copilot is connected to agents, you can enable memory and it can kind of learn as you go. And you can also enable any other tool that an agent can do in your Copilot. But it is publicly accessible, so you want to make sure that you're enabling things that you want potentially anyone to access. The other thing that I did is generate a 64-byte character. So unless this is shared somewhere, it's going to be hard for someone to find this URL and work on your Copilot. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about is this also works great in mobile. So if you take this link and add it to your mobile browser, then you get a nice mobile view. And hang on. That kind of fills up your mobile view. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. On your mobile, when you pop it open, you get the full screen. And, if you have a personal assistant, you can just add that to your home screen, and then boom, you can pop it up whenever you want to access it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. And that's connecting agents in Scout to Copilot. And yeah, it is super, super simple.